Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Siobhan Danielle, and this is gonna be another vlog. All I gotta say is it's mad cold. I have on a sweater, have on a long sleeve shirt under, I have on shorts, and then I have on pajama pants, and then I have socks over the pajama pants. Like, I don't be understanding. At nighttime, the heat be on, be blasting, and be hot. But in the daytime, it be mad cold, and I'll just be a little confused because the heat should be on all day. It should be. It's fucking cold. Like, as soon as I wake up, I have to put on a sweater. Like, I don't go to sleep with all these clothes on because then I'm gonna be hot, sweating. I don't like that. I do not like that. I don't like being hot in my sleep. I don't like that. But the time right now is 1:15. I was supposed to be getting up to go to my grandmother's house, but I feel like every single time I get up and get dressed and get ready to leave, it's like it just be mad cold. Like, I'm gonna tell y'all what the weather is. Like, I don't even, well, it ain't no wind right now, but the wind was blowing so hard yesterday, I got my ass back in the bed. Like, excuse me? Why is it so cold? I'm gonna go, and I'm actually, even if it's just as cold as it is today, tomorrow, I'm gonna actually go tomorrow. Put on my other coat, my long coat with the fur, my mountain coat. The weather right now, first of all, the weather right now is 38 degrees, but it feels like 28. I don't want to be outside in that type of weather. Like, yesterday was colder, so that means I should go today. So I have to, you know what, I'm gonna go tomorrow. I'm gonna go on Saturday, because first of all, it's Friday and I don't feel like getting up. Like, but yeah. Oh, and I also started reading another book. It's right there. It's called Life After Death, by Sister Souljah. It's the second installment to one of her first books that came out years ago, called The Coldest Winter Ever. I think that book might have came out in like the early 2000s. I'm gonna see when it came out. Oh, and I got a movie for me and my sister to watch. The Coldest Winter Ever. That book came out in 1999. Like, that is crazy. And I'm reading the second installment, A Deeper Love. Wait, let's see. Oh, so she writing all her books based off of the what you call it? The Santiaga family. So A Deeper Love is basically Portia Santiaga's story. The second sister. Winter is four of them. Winter is the oldest, then it's Portia, and then it's the twins, Lexus and Mercedes. But in Life After Death, I'm on chapter 12. And this book basically is, so in Life After Death, she's getting ready to come out of jail. She went in and did a 15-year sentence, mandatory, for something that she didn't do. She got caught up at something at the wrong time. Basically, she was holding a man down, and he set her up to go to jail, basically. He put everything, like, he was a hustler. He was dealing drugs and all that other type of stuff. He put the condo in her house. Basically, scamming. Put the car in her house. The condo in her name. The car in her name. The rental in her name. Everything. Had drugs in the car. She got into it with this one girl who they became friends in jail. And that whole situation is the reason why she even got locked up. Well, not technically. They was fighting. The girl slashed her face, but the guy that Winter was with, Bullet, he shot the gun into the air to stop the fight. And he drew the cops to them because he shot in the air. But then he threw the gun in the car under the seat. And that is what got her locked up. So instead of him being the one, basically like Ghost and Tasha, Ghost was the head of the operation, but they wanted to nail Tasha for what Ghost was doing. So she's supposed to be the queen pin. Meanwhile, it was the nigga Bullet. So, and he ain't go see her or nothing when he went in there. And mind you, Winter's dad was dealing drugs too, and he had got locked up. So, but yeah, she was just getting ready to come out of jail after doing 15 years in prison. And as soon as she got out, the same girl that she had that fight with, when she went to jail, who slashed her face, is the one that killed her when she came out. That girl was holding a grudge against her because I don't know, well, from what was said, I don't know if they were ever friends. I do know that it was said her name is Simone. Her and Winter went to a store, and she made Simone steal the dress for her. And then when Simone got caught, she pretended she didn't know anything or stuff like that. She's like, she set me up to steal the dress when she could have paid for it. She just wanted to go around pretending like she paid for it and stuff like that. So that kind of like altered the beef. And then more things happened. Simone was pregnant, 7 months pregnant, and chasing after Winter, and she fell down the stairs while she was 7 months pregnant and lost her child. And she blamed Winter for it. So the animosity was there. And then they had that fight. But I'm trying to figure out if the fight was after, obviously, she lost the baby. She had that fight because she was still mad. And then Slash Winter, and they went to jail for it. But then when they went to jail, they had no choice but to become enemies to frenemies and stuff like that, so that nobody could mess with them. Simone was a beast. Winter made anybody bow down, so they could kind of join forces while they was inside the pen together. And then, but Winter never realized that she was holding on to this grudge for so long. Mind you, it was 15 years ago. So 15 years ago. And all the friends that went, I think all of them that was in jail, they hung out and stuff like that. They each went in jail at one point in time, but for something different and stuff. And they was like, Simone, you killed her because you was holding on to something 15 years ago that she didn't do. You was the one that was chasing after her down the stairs, and you fell. You held on to that for so long that you felt like you needed to kill her. And now we're not making no money because of you. Because when Winter came out, she was going to get like a TV show and stuff like that. A TV show. And she wanted to become an interior designer. So she was going to do her own little stuff, making money like that. And she was going to give all the people that she was in jail with, like Simone, she was going to give her a job. She was going to give, the little crew a little job so they could all make money. They could have enough money to have their own little apartments and stuff like that. And stuff. But Simone fucked the plans up. As soon as Winter stepped foot outside, lights the fuck out. Like, bitch. I read that ass. And I'm trying to hurry up and read this book before I leave so my sister could read it. And I'm thinking maybe I should get the first book so I could read the coldest winter ever. I want to read it. I want to read it so bad. I'm going to get it. But I need to wait. I need to take my time. This is the second book I'm reading for the year. I read from the other vlog, y'all saw that I read If We Ever Meet Again. And there's 4 books in that series. So I'm trying to wait until I get back to school and start working. And then I'm going to buy the books because I need to be occupied. I'm going to do my work. And then while I also have my free time, I'm going to be reading books. My sister home. Bye. I think that's her. Either it was her or it's the wind. But I'm going to tell y'all this. The other night, what's today? Friday on Tuesday. I promise y'all, it was like 12 something. It's dark. Everybody in their room sleeping and stuff. And then I'm hearing something like, you could hear people outside. New York is noisy. People was up. So I could hear people outside. I could hear people from a mile away. I could hear people from downstairs, next door, and upstairs. So I can hear all around. And I can also hear footsteps in the hallway and stuff like that. So I'm listening to see which direction it's coming from. And then I open the door. And I'm not gonna say it was my door, but it seemed as if somebody was turning the knob on the door. Like that's happened before. And then the door was open. Like one time my mom left when my sister was supposed to lock the door, and she walked past and went to sleep without locking the door. But it was in the daytime. So, but I was coming home from school, so that's why nobody locked the door, because I was just getting out of school and I didn't have no key. My sister had the key and my mother had the key. So as I was coming up the stairs, I seen the neighbor getting ready to turn the knob. And I luckily came. I'm so lucky to have come out the staircase at the right time, because had I not came in there at that time, who knows what would have happened. My sister was in the room sleeping. My sister was in the room sleeping, but that was insane. But I'm not going to say somebody was turning the knob, but it sounded like somebody was turning the knob or something, or turning the next door neighbor's knob. I don't know. I opened the door and I stood in my room doorway, and I listened, and then I went, because I didn't turn no light on. Left the lights off, and I looked through the peephole. There was nobody there. But it's like when you look at the people, it looks as if there's a shadow right there. But I'm like, now when we're gonna need to start sleeping with, and like the door is locked. But it's like, why would you even want to be doing anybody's doorknob like that to see if it's open? But there was a point in time where there was a homeless man living in the staircase and stuff like that. So, and then it's like you walking up the stairs, because sometimes when I was growing up, I was afraid of getting in the elevator and getting stuck. So I would go up the elevator, no matter who was in it, whether it was a woman or a man. I was not going in the elevator. I was going up the stairs. And I remember going up the stairs, and I seen the homeless person living in there. So in the staircase, so I was like, that's not safe. So I had to start taking the elevator, even though I lived only on the 3rd floor. It was only 2 flights of stairs, but I'm a child coming from school, middle school to be exact, even high school. And then it's like, staircase. But he doesn't live there now and stuff, because I think they got cameras and stuff. But yeah, I'm trying to get myself to finish this book, because it's like in the book, Winter is so dumb. She's so worried about having a man, and a man treating her like the top bitch, that she's not even realizing what's going on. Like her soul is literally fighting to go between hell and heaven. Literally, that's what her soul is fighting to be. The man, and then she got in her head that the son, well, his name is Lucifer. He's literally the devil trying to take her soul from her. And every single time they have sexual intercourse, he changes her into an animal. And like, I'm like, this bitch is stupid. Like, so she was so caught up in that life on the streets, where she felt like, and that's what got her caught up and went to jail the first time. She was so caught up in trying to prove herself to Bullet, and wondering why he ain't like her. He said, oh, he put the condo in my name, he put the car in my name, that must mean I'm his top bitch. No, bitch, he's setting you up. You don't let no nigga who's selling drugs put all this shit in your name, because when shit go down, there's no trace of him being left behind. All of that shit leads back to you. That's how Cookie's stupid ass went to jail in Empire. She did 15 years in prison for a nigga who never even came to see her on the first week of her being locked up. Didn't put nothing on her commissary, nothing. But she acting the same way like that, literally, when her soul is fighting to go in between heaven and hell. And I'm just reading the book. I'm like, this girl gets dumber and dumber and dumber. But in my head, I'm reading a book, and I'm like, maybe she's not dead. Maybe she got shot, and all of this of her dreaming and stuff, she's in a coma, and she's gonna survive by the end of the book. Her soul is gonna be found. She's in a vegetative state. Her mind is working, but she can't really move her fingers and stuff. Like, that's what I was thinking. You know what? Sister Souljah should have did that. She should have did that. She should have did that. Cause it's like now she knows who killed her, because she can see what people have been saying. Like when she first in the first chapter, it was said to who have killed her, which was Simone, and it's like, damn, I know who took me out, but like, how can I get the other people around me who's still alive to give them hints to know that it was her? It was like, I can't wait to read more to figure it out. But I'm pretty sure it ain't gonna say nothing, ain't gonna mention nothing about Simone ever again, unless Sister Souljah is writing a book where Portia, the sister, starts investigating who killed her sister, like literally. And then they come to find out it was Simone. But it was like, how you kill somebody over something your ass did? You should have restraints. Your ass is 7 months pregnant and you chase somebody down the stairs. You running down the stairs at 7 months pregnant, knowing that you need to be careful. And then when you fall, you blame that on somebody else. That ain't nothing. Ain't nobody's fault but yourself. Because it never even said, why she was chasing her down the stairs. Unless it was the whole situation where that was the day she stole the dress and then got blamed for it because of Winter. Unless that was all that same day. But like, I want to take a nap. I want to take a 4-hour nap. All right. Gotta go. I might either read, sleep, or just sit here in silence. Peace out. Okay. So I just finished the book, and now I don't remember what I said in the last clip, but what I do have to say is that from the direction the book was going at first, when I picked it up and started reading it, I was like, there's a reason why I've had this book since 2021, since it dropped, and I haven't opened it again. Because this was I don't know if it was my 3rd or 4th time picking this book up and reading it finally. Because this is the first time I read the book straight through without stopping. Because usually when I picked the book up, I read the first chapter, I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And I closed it. I picked it up again. I read 2 chapters and it's like, yeah, I can't get through this because what is really going on? The way she talking, it's like she's so stubborn. And it's like, she's just she was raised a certain type of way. Her father was a drug dealer. Her mother was the wife of a drug dealer who had 4 kids and who was used to that drug life. But then ultimately her mother was shot in the face, and then her mother got hooked onto drugs. She said her mother told her that she would never be one of those women. Like, even though her mother used to smoke the weed and snort a little coke or something, she would never be the one to get hooked onto the drugs. And her mother ultimately got hooked onto drugs. So her father was selling drugs. Her mother was beautiful and all this type of stuff, but then got hooked onto drugs. So ultimately, yeah. And then her father got sent to prison. So now her and her sisters got split up. She was the oldest out of the 4 of them. They got split up and went to group homes. And then Winter got herself into a situation with this guy, but she thinking he loved her and all this other stuff. Like, yeah, he put the condo, he put the car in my name. He got me jewelry and shit in my name. He must love me. I'm top bitch. That was her attitude. But remember, at this time this was happening, she was a teenager, so she's not really knowing what the fuck is going on, what he's doing. This guy is a full-blown drug dealer. So what he's doing is he doing his shit, but he's putting in her name. So if something happened and he get caught up, nothing traces back to him. It traces back to her. But it wasn't even her fault. She was in the rental about to go make a drop for him in Virginia. Just so happened that one of her enemies saw her and came and started a fight with her. They started fighting. The girl slashed her face. They started fighting. Yeah, they started fighting. The girl slashed her face. The boy Winter was with at the time, called Bullet. He shot a gun in the air to stop the fighting from happening, to, you know, move everybody out the way, but it didn't do nothing but only draw the cops. Now, instead of taking the gun and stashing it elsewhere, but even if he took the gun and stashed it elsewhere, there was still drugs in the car. This is how she really got locked up. Now, I did not read The Coldest Winter Ever. This is my first time ever reading something by Sister Souljah. So this book right here, Life After Death, is a continuation to her first book. Well, she's did plenty of the books, but this book that came out in 1999 that she wrote, called The Coldest Winter Ever, this is a continuation to that book. And in the last book, The Coldest Winter Ever, she's been in and out of jail or something. I guess she's been out of group homes and stuff like that. Well, after her father was taken to prison and she was sent to group homes and stuff like that. Her sisters and stuff was split up because it's Winter, it's Portia, and it's the twins, Lexus and Mercedes, and stuff like that. But Bullet, let's go back to Bullet. So he shot the gun in the air and drew the cops to them. And I was saying that even if he would have threw the gun somewhere, but they still had the drugs in the car, so she would have just got hemmed up for the drugs. But then it's like, she still would have had to do time for that. But instead of him taking the gun and throwing it somewhere else, or keeping it in his pocket and just leaving the scene, he put the gun in the car under the seat with her, with the drugs in the back, and she got booked for 15 years. She had to do 15 years mandatory. So, like I was saying in the last clip, how they did the same thing to Tasha with Ghost. And how when Tyreek killed his father, but they wanted to say it was Tasha. Well, Tasha took the blame for it, but they wanted to hem Tasha up for the drug, calling her the queen pin, when it was literally James. Even though Tasha was selling her drugs, but they didn't know that. They knew James was doing it. They knew Ghost was doing it. So they wanted to set Tasha up as the kingpin, the queen pin, when it really wasn't. But that's what it really was. He put everything on her name, and it made it seem like she was the one that did it, but never. But then she came from a father who sold drugs and stuff like that. So you can't snitch. You got to do that time. The Santiagas are one of the royalty families in Brooklyn, like the drug royalty family. They don't snitch. They stay loyal no matter who do them wrong. And she did that mandatory. And then, like I was saying, she got released. Her release date was coming up. She did that 15 years straight. Her release date coming up, and she was gonna her sister's husband was like a big time director, and he was giving her a show. All right, these are the things that you want. What do you want? She wanted she wanted midnight to greet her on the fresh off the red carpet, and then she wanted her father to be out too. Those were her two requests. She couldn't get midnight, but she wanted her father. But as soon as she stepped up out of there, lights out, they shot her. Like, what? And then that's when the first episode, the second chapter really came in. Because I don't know if they really immediately went into who shot you on the first chapter or the second. It probably was like 4 pages. Hold on. I'm going to go back. Okay. Nah, the first chapter... Oh, no. The first chapter was gunshots, Brooklyn born. I know the sound. No matter whose finger is on the trigger, a nigga versus a nigga versus the law, or the law versus niggas. Gunshots fired anywhere in the world means pay attention, motherfuckers. But after these 3 shots, I didn't hear no clapback, running feet, or screeching police sirens. I don't hear no cops calling out bullshit commands like freeze. I don't hear the scream of the ambulance or the swift feet of the curious running to the scene of the incident. I don't hear the director calling out cut. After first having called out action, I don't hear the cheers, shout outs, or big ups from the VIP crowd, who I know had gathered because I'm the one who arranged the VIP passes to be the only ones invited to accompany the film crew on my prison release day. I can't even hear the howl of the wind, which normally is loud upstate New York, where I was locked up. That where we could hear it from the inside the prison walls, depending on where we were in the building, fucking hearing. I can't even see. Everything is deep black. Oh shit, that's how I know. I went to Santiaga and the one who got shot dead. That's how the first paragraph was on the first chapter. But now, I think, hold on, I think it was chapter 2. Yeah, I think it was chapter 2. I think it was in chapter 2 where she found out when they act, you know, going through her mind, like, who really shot me? And then it turned to where the girls that she was getting out with to be put on for her reality show was sitting up together talking about, yeah, what happened? And then it was like, you fucked up the plans. Who fucked up the plans? Remember I was talking about the person who shot her is the person who seen her when she was with the guy Bullet on the streets and started fighting and slashed her face. Simone. Simone was the one who shot her. And like I said before, Simone held a vendetta against her because of what happened with Simone was pregnant and, you know, chasing up after Winter while she was pregnant, fell down the stairs and holding a grudge 15 years later and waiting for somebody. Mind you, she was in prison. Simone got hemmed up too and went to prison right along with Winter because you came and slashed her face. What the fuck? Like, what do you thought you... Mind you, she probably had priors to that because they were still in this shit together at once upon a time. Well, from what was gathered in the thing. But it seemed like a little bit of shit that Winter was doing with Simone trickled up and she was like, you know what? I'm tired of this bitch. I gotta do something. So that's what it was. And yeah. But in this book, I can see where Sister Souljah was going for because it's life after death. And it's like she got shot. Now, I was right because it seemed like when you reading the chapters, you be like, is this bitch in a coma? Like, she can't be dead because I'm like, if she was dead, she would not be talking to herself, having a mind, thinking and going through all these different ways of what to do and all this other stuff. She was literally fighting between whether or not her soul was going to go to hell or heaven. Which one was it? I'm like, but that girl was stubborn. I'm like, at this point, just take her to hell. She don't even want to go to heaven. Talking about I don't know who that is. I don't know who Jesus is. The only person I know is my father. I'm like, bitch, are you not getting it? They trying to tell you, in order for you to move on to the afterlife and to heaven, you need to choose this path. She was purposely choosing to go to hell. Like, it was like every given scenario in the succubus, you know what the word that I'm trying to say. The thing literally, because they all play together, you know, they all entwine and held together. The succubus was literally like, bitch, are you dumb? Like, literally, are you dumb? Like, I know you're not stupid. You are literally choosing to come to hell. We are doing this on purpose to you and chasing you into animals. What are you not getting? Like, things are forbidden. If you do these things, you will be changed into an animal. You will be punished. And you're choosing to continuously be punished. But I'm like, I had to think about it because when Winter was taken into prison, she was 18. She was still a teenager. So when she got out, even though she died immediately after she came out, well, I'm not going to say that. I'm going to say it because she kept saying she was dead. Even though she was dead when she came out, as soon as she got out, she died. She still got a teenager brain mind. And I'm just like, oh, this girl, even at the afterlife, she's still a teenager. But then even in the book, even in one of the chapters, she took accountability for like, you know what? At that point, even though I'm 30-something years old, I'm still like 19-year-old in my mind because that's what I was when I went in. Like, 15 years and you come out and you still, like, you're stuck where you were when you went in. I don't know, like, I don't know. And now, you know, at the point where I was in my last clip, when I was reading the book, I was like, this shit is crazy ass. I even posted a tick like this. This shit is crazy. What was she thinking about when she was writing this book? But now I'm getting it. It's the whole trying to choose the perfect religion that you see fit for you. That's what I got going towards the end because they were speaking about, I don't remember, but it was, you know, talking about the Holy Spirit. It was, I don't remember. I don't remember. I don't even know what chapter it was in. The Holy Spirit, praying to Allah, I think, yeah. And then it was something else. It was like 3 different ones and stuff like that. But it was like she was, even to the last day, she was still being stubborn. I'm like, at this point, she don't even care. This, like, it's like she got a rebuttal for everything. They trying to teach her, but she don't want to be teached. She don't want nobody having a one-up over her. She don't want nobody to seem smarter than her. So she's going to do everything she can to question or challenge. Bitch, you shouldn't be challenging somebody that's trying to send you to heaven. You want to just take an ass in it, because she clearly don't give a fuck. She clearly don't care. She clearly don't care. Like, it's like, and then at first, I really was like I was close to giving this book a 2 out of 10. I was on chapter 24, and I'm like, this shit is a 2 out of 10. I don't give a fuck. Nothing is changing my mind. But when I got to chapter 33, and it went from that last paragraph from chapter 32 to chapter 33, I'm like, oh my gosh, Sister Souljah, Winter is alive. And that was right. I said she was in a coma the whole time. She was in the fucking coma the whole time. And I'm like, because there's no way she's literally struggling to figure out where she want to go or what she want to do, begging. Like, she keep going back. And they told her she got one more chance. And you pushing it. And then now that you realize that this nigga had played you, but it was signs. You went to a club where it was flames. Red flames. And you only know the one person that had flames. They don't have no light. They only have flames. And you think you in good hands? Dummy. Are you stupid? But I'm like, chapter 33 came and she finally got it. And it was like the whole point for her was to take accountability. She had to confess to some things that she had to really deep dive and look back into her life and to confess to something that she didn't really understand what was happening in the moment. Like it was a chapter in the book where you go to the truth booth, and it takes you back into plays things back into what happened in your life. It had pictures and showing her shit from things that she had to remember. And one of the scenes that came up was murder. It's like, murder? I ain't murdered nobody. An old lady was walking. She had a sock full of rocks. She hit the old lady on the head. But the thing was, she thought she robbed the lady, so it was she had to confess to fornication, sodomy, murder, theft, envy, greed. It was something else in it that she had to confess to. And it was like, if you confess to all of these sins that you did, and you did the sincere prayer, you was going to where they needed you to go to. But you seen these words, and you know you did these words, and you choosing to not confess to these. You got a fucking problem. Like she stole from the lady. She hit the lady in the head with the rocks. She stole the lady credit cards, Gucci, whatever she stole from the lady. But then she's like, I didn't kill her. And then it showed the next scene of the lady dying in the hospital. It's just like, I didn't kill her. I didn't know it took about something. Well, it's not a truth. And they said, if you lie, we're going down there. Like, and I'm just like, what do you not? I'm like, all you have to do is confess to the sins that you did. You did all of these things. So I don't know why you even trying to. The thing was, she knows she did it, but she trying to give an excuse to why she did it. She stole money. Theft came up, but it wasn't theft of stealing from the lady, because I guess they acknowledged the murder and the theft in the same. But there was another one where it says theft, where she stole money from a church that was raising. She stole money from the church, and the church is raising something for kids that was HIV positive. I'm like, what in the world? Out of all the shit your daddy told you, you out here stealing and killing people when he gave you everything you wanted? And that was the fucking problem. He gave her everything she wanted and made her feel like she was untouchable. So she got to do whatever she wanted with no consequences, anything. Because she know that if anybody ever said something to her father about her, off the mat, giving orders, take him out. Take him out, take him out. It's hard to yell when the barrel's in your mouth. Bring 'em out, bring 'em out. Bring 'em out, bring 'em out, hey. Bring 'em out, bring 'em out, hey. Coming live. I'ma stop. I don't know where that just went lost in, but I just had a moment. All right. But yeah. So it went from a 2 out of 10 to a 6 out of 10. I don't know. It might could be bumped up a little bit more to 8 out of 10. But I think the reason why it's only on 1 bar. I feel like I understand why she wrote it this way. And chapter 33 and 34 gave her space to you know, leave off the book to pick up from the next, because Sister Souljah dropped another book just this past October called Love After Midnight. But it's like, I'm not understanding, why is it called Love After Midnight when she just came back from the dead? And that's another thing I want to know, because Simone's the one that shot her, and all the girls made a pact to keep it quiet, that they know Simone did it. So now I'm like, well, in the next book, it's like, what's gonna happen? Is she gonna sit around them like quietly or trying to figure them out? Because she did say she was gonna slither through that. It's like now she's gonna move in silence, knowing that nobody knows what she knows happened, because she can't really sit there and be like, yeah, I know who killed me, but I saw it in my head. I was in a coma. But how, like, what? That just makes it sound crazy and stuff like that. So I want to know how she's gonna maneuver through that. So maybe I should buy the book. But I don't know. I don't want to get the book and then it be ass. Because the comments under Sister Souljah's Instagram was like, I don't like it. Because she went through all of that shit to finally start praying. And then it was like how she just reverted back to her old ways in the next book. But then I'm kind of like, maybe she had no choice but to revert back to the old ways, because Simone was playing in her face again, too comfortable, bitch. You did this and this and that, da-da-da-da-da. And you think I'm not finna be on my boss shit? And you think you're about to be getting money from me? But she was like, nah, I'm gonna play it cool. I don't know, y'all. Let me know what y'all think. This shit getting good, though. So I don't know. I was eager to finish it, though. My sister wanted me to come out with her, but I'm like, nah, I got 4 chapters left. I need to read this. I'm glad I read it. I'm glad I read it. The second book of 2025. I'm on a roll. I wish books were free. I wish we didn't have to pay for books. I wish they had a library or a bookstore that could let you go in there and get books for free. Like they had a little station area where you could just take these books for free. We don't need them no more, but you could have them. I don't know. And I can't believe this is my first impression of Sister Souljah. I was ready to go ham on her for the way this, because I feel like chapter 10 was a little crazy. A little crazy. Somebody need to pick her brain on why she thought to put chapter 10 in there like that. Like with the dog, and because that was insanely disgusted. I was in my room disgusted. And mind you, I read this book in 2 days. I started on the 9th. Well, today is the 12th. But really, I finished the book yesterday around like 11:30. So, an hour ago, basically. But, because it's 12:30 a.m. January 12th. But I read this book in 2 days. And I was only eager to finish it because I was like, this book was pissing me clean the fuck off with just how stubborn this girl was and how she was purposely being obtuse. I'm like, at this fucking point, just send her down there and banish her down there just to make a point. Because this bitch is dumb. That's what I was getting every hour. Like, every chapter I'm like, you know what? I'm about to be mad. I don't want to read it no more. That's how I was feeling. But I'm glad I pushed through and finished it, because I wouldn't be having or being all excited to know what's going on in the next book. Okay, but yeah. Let me go ahead and turn the camera off because it got 1 bar left. So, my hair always look crazy, but I don't give a fuck. I washed my hair and I did not blow it out. So, this is the stage it's at. But yeah, like, comment, subscribe. Click the bell notification so y'all get notified every single time I drop a video. And I'm gonna link the book in the thing. You know what I'm trying to talk about. But yeah, let me get up out of here. Oh, and give me some suggestions on what books I should read. Y'all seen the other book review that I did. I'm gonna go to Target and get the second book to that, and then Maybe when I go back to school, I'm going to get the other book. And you want to know another thing? I read like 2 chapters last night, and I was up like 2 o'clock, maybe 3 o'clock, and I was like, let me go on TikTok and look at the reviews people did on the book. They was going ham on her. I was like, maybe I agree with them. Because they was like, I don't know where she was going, but then I saw this one girl, she said she's a Christian, and she didn't, like, she was liking the book until it got up to that point where it felt like they was, what's it call it? What words? I forgot the words she said, but she was like how they was going about saying which religion she should choose and playing around with saying something bad about like the choice of words that was used in the book based off of Christianity, because she believed in that certain. She's like, she understands and she respects other people's religions, but it was the choice of words. So I kind of understood that on the part, because when I got to that, I'm like, there was no point of even saying that. In the midst of that, I'm like, better words could have been said. But it's like, what do you expect from a girl from Brooklyn who been through all that shit and don't care about nothing other than herself? So she's gonna say anything and everything to make herself look better and to downplay everything else. That's what the mindset was. So I kind of understood that lady, the lady that was the Christian side, and the way Sister Souljah wrote that in there. But I'm like, you don't do that no more. And I'm only talking about chapter 10. Don't write that shit no more. If I read the next book and there's some even more worse shit in there, I'm putting it down. I'm going to sell the book. I don't give a fuck. But okay, I'm going to stop talking. Bye.